This is the plaintiff, Clint Martin. He says he hired the defendant to repair his air conditioning unit, and the technician was rude to his wife, made her cry, and they almost got into a fist fight over it. Bottom line, they made repairs which weren't needed. He wasted his money, and he's suing him for a refund of the $1,700 he's owed. These are the defendants, Allison and David Airy. Allison says they fixed the guy's AC unit, got paid, and everything was working perfectly. When the unit stopped working again, David discovered they hadn't changed the filter and it was clogged. The plaintiff grabbed David by the neck, pinned him up against the wall, and physically assaulted him. Once that happened, she refused to send anyone over there again, and here they are. They're accused of letting things get hot.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Clint Martin, you are suing Clean and Green Air Conditioning. I love that name. Clean and Green Air Conditioning. For $1,700, $1,400 they charge you for a compressor, and $300 for 2 service calls because, according to you, they did not fix the problem. Tell me what happened.
Absolutely. In the summer, May 31st, the AC was blowing some hot air, and unfortunately, it was my wife's vacation time. She works for the post office. She's on the heat every day. So in South Florida, you have to have air conditioning, you know. So I called Dave.
It's not a luxury.
Yeah, you got to have it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I called Dave because I've used him before. I'm a plumbing contractor, and I've recommended him before in the past. Never had any problems. Felt very safe. He came by. Clint, no problem. It's a little bit low on Freon. We'll jack it up. Everything will be good to go.
Okay, so and you got charged how much for that? $150?
$150 for the service call, so I paid
And
him.
For the Freon?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, go on.
And then shortly after, a couple days passed by, was blowing hot air again. He came back out, and he says, oh, well, this time, electrical component, I didn't notice, but the contacts in there don't look too good, and the coil's a little bit dirty, so I'm going to clean that up. And he showed me some electrical component, and then he's like, well, since I was just here, I'm only going to charge you for the part. So me being in the trades, I said, absolutely not. I'll pay you for the whole service call and the part. So he left again. It was blowing cold, and then again, it got hot again.
How soon?
Just no more than a couple days.
Right, okay.
And hot air again. So I call him up, and I'm like, Dave, look, I'm not AC guy, I'm plumbing guy. You got to come by here, straighten it out. If I need a new system, whatever it is, it has to be done. My wife's on vacation. You know, can't have it 95 in the house. He comes out, so he says, now that I'm here, I noticed the fan motor is acting sporadic. I didn't see that before. So I'm going to change that.
So he changes a fan motor?
Changes the fan motor.
Did he charge you for that?
No.
Okay,
no,
so he gives you the fan,
he was
and
doing
then
it right
what
there,
happens?
trying to make it work. It started to blow hot again.
A couple of days later?
Yes.
And then what?
So the compressor in there now, he says, well, Clint, the compressor's bad. Well, I'm like, well, how much is that? He says, $1,400. And I said, but if I put $1,400 into this old system, am I going to get a couple years? Because, you know, I just did my driveway. I'm in contract to do
and he says?
A bunch of expense. He says, Clint, 30 years experience, you're good for a couple years, no problem.
Okay, so then he puts in a new compressor.
He puts his new compressor.
You pay $1,400, and what happens?
Hot air again.
Okay.
And now my wife is freaking on me, you know, because again.
Yeah, you're a plumber. You're in the trades. Why can't you get this done?
Right. She said that. You brag about this guy.
That's what I say too.
Right. I'm surprised I didn't get a shoe in the butt, you know.
I'm surprised you didn't either.
So yeah.
All right, but here's what I want to ask you. Have you had the thing fixed?
Absolutely.
And can I see the repair bill from the new AC guy?
Yeah.
Because what did they do? Because if you already had a compressor, what did they do?
I called a big company to come out and pay them for a service call to troubleshoot everything, right? So this company comes out there with a leak detector. The gentleman is there for no lie, 10 minutes after he had the lid off of there.
Yeah, if you own a leak detector, it's faster. The big companies own the leak detectors, right? The little ones do not, right?
I have several.
You have several leak detectors?
Yes,
oh, so why didn't you bring a leak detector?
With all due respect, that's not what happened.
Okay, what do you say happened?
The whole story's backwards.
Okay, so what do you say happened?
His fan motor was an intermittent problem that was undetectable because every time I went there, the fan motor worked fine. It was only after I changed the compressor, which was shorted and had blown fuses, and after I replaced the compressor on that very same day, after I left, everything was running fine. I got home and he called me up. Hey man, it's not working. I said, okay, Clint, no worries, I'll be right back. I come back and the thing's overheated and I'm thinking, well, I put the compressor in and it was very, very hot that day and it was hot in the house. I thought maybe I didn't get enough gas in it, maybe it overheated. So I put water on it, got it all cooled down, got it started up, topped off the charge, waited a little bit, everything was fine, and I left. I get home, the phone rings. It's Clint. Hey man, it's not working. So I come back again, so I wait like a half hour, and all of a sudden the fan motor stops. I'm like, oh, okay, so secondary problem. I discovered the bad fan motor. I said, Clint, I'm gonna throw a new fan motor in for you. Everything was fine. I went home, 9:30 at night, completely exhausted. Get up the next morning, I call him up, how's it going? It's great.
And then we didn't hear anything for a week.
This was July 4th.
Yeah, but it should last longer than a week.
Of course,
oh,
of course.
Okay.
So I'm like happy. I'm like exhausted, but I'm happy. It's done.
Okay, let's get past your mood and let's get to a week later when he calls you and says, this thing is broken again for the 10th time.
So he calls me the Sunday. I said, I'll be there as soon as I can Monday.
Okay.
So at 2 o'clock, he calls me. 2 hours later, I get there, pull the filter out, it's completely clogged. I say, this is probably the whole problem right here.
Wait, you're an AC guy. Why wouldn't you have looked at the filter at the beginning?
Well, I know because I asked her about it, and she said, Clint takes care of it. I left it at that.
You know what we're talking about, right? You do.
Yes, ma'am.
It's this. That's what we're talking about.
It's also
this one action of checking to see that the homeowners who lie all the time and think they're better than they are at changing filters, change the darn filter. But
Your Honor, I was wrong for not insisting on looking at the filter.
Does anybody have a picture of the filthy filter?
No.
I actually do have a picture.
May I see it? All right, so according to you, the filter is filthy, and then what happens?
So I pull the filter out of the bottom of the machine, and because it's all iced up, it's dripping all over the floor. So I quickly walk to the door, I open the door, and I throw it out because I'm also in a conversation with his wife. So I just kind of throw it out the door. Immediately, she gets on the phone, and she calls him, and she starts saying that I'm whatever. I didn't really listen to the details of what she said.
Your wife calls you and tells you what?
That he's at the house, and he said, Missy, sweetie.
Missy, sweetie?
Yeah, Missy, sweetie. He knows my wife. Missy, sweetie's how he's addressing her.
Wait, is your wife's name Missy?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't even know what his wife's name is. Your Honor.
Okay, Missy, sweetie, go ahead.
Yes, he does know my wife's name.
I don't care. Will you guys stop it? Like you're like kids in a playground.
Missy, sweetie.
Focus.
Missy, sweetie, I need to get in and see the unit inside. So she lets him in, and he goes to my wife. You guys are pigs. You never changed the filter.
What?
That's
You
the
guys
cause
are
of the whole
pigs?
problem.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Don't yell in my courtroom. Do not yell in my courtroom. We are not on the playground.
You guys are pigs, and he threw it at my wife's feet. So she gets on the phone and calls me. He's being belligerent to me, and she was hysterical crying. So I says, I'm on a job site, but I'm leaving now. I'm coming home.
Okay.
I leave. I drive home. My wife is crying with my son.
She's still crying?
Yeah, out in front of the house, and he's out in front of the house with the AC filter is all ripped apart and it's wet. He takes it and throws it in his truck and goes, Clint, we could have a drink. We could talk about what happened. I said, it's beyond that. And then his answer was,
this is the filthy.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I'd like to see that,
Yep.
that picture.
Yep. I'd like to understand how that wasn't looked at before. So what'd you end up doing? Do you hire another company to come in and change the AC? Do you have proof that you paid the other company, like the canceled check or whatever?
Yes.
May I see?
That's what the documentation.
That's up here? Okay, hold on one second. So I see there. Now, what I don't understand is why, if there was a brand new compressor, did they have to change a compressor and not just the inside air handler?
Here's exactly how it goes. There's a picture up there also of the coil, the old coil. The compressor sits inside that box, if you would, inside the center of that. You never from all the AC guys I've spoken to, never changed that compressor when the coil and compressor are that old. You buy the whole thing, if anything. You buy the whole compressor and the coil together.
What are you trying to say to me, that he didn't change the coil?
No, he did not change the coil.
Is that what you're trying to say to me?
Right, that is
okay.
What I'm saying.
Did you change the coil?
No.
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 All right, and then it turns out that this new company says that with the detector, they found leaks in the coil.
Yeah, you could see the green on those other pictures. It bubbles up green where the leaks are. Those are filters.
Go on over to there and show me what you're trying to point out to me in these pictures.
Right there, that's a leak.
Okay, because it's green. That's how I know. Okay.
See that? Look, that's leaking right there.
Okay, all right, go ahead and go back. All right, now, you are a big part of this company, I can tell, because you have been itching to say something all this time and telling him, okay, let me handle this, all right, let me hear from you, ma'am.
All right, sometimes, yes, David can be a little bit short, okay, especially when he is tired.
If I knew you had a British accent, I would have gone to you sooner, go ahead.
But one thing he isn't belligerent with people, he isn't rude with people, and he certainly wouldn't call any woman missy or anything like that, because it's just not in his nature. What I do know is he turned up home with a mark across his face, very upset, slightly shaking, and I said to him, "What?" And he said to me that Mr. Martin had come tearing up the driveway when he was at the house, and Mrs. Martin had called him and had physically touched him, physically pushed him back.
Yes.
What did he do? Tell me about it.
You can demonstrate on me, because
First of all,
don't knock her down, though.
Okay. Well, when I took the filter out, she's on the phone calling him.
He gets there. From the moment he gets there, what happens?
He comes flying up to the house. I'm walking out, and he comes at me like this.
Demonstration.
Okay.
And catches me right here.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. How do you protect yourself when you hire a contractor to make sure they're not selling you unnecessary services or equipment?
Always get a second opinion and try to make friends with contractors so you don't have to deal with that kind of problem.
Okay, that's not bad.
Always double check like the resources or ask for like another customer opinion type of deal.
Well, that's not bad too.
Yeah, references, who they've done before.
And whether there are complaints.
Yes.
Gotcha. Going inside the courtroom.
And I'm like, Clint, calm down. I'm like, there's nothing to fight about here. This is just, first of all, had the filter not been clogged, it would have never iced up. And
that only makes me angrier that you didn't check the filter. But go ahead.
Okay, that's my bad.
Right.
It was a secondary problem that I wasn't aware of. That
could be the original problem, and then that would be
No, there's no doubt about the original problem because it was a shorted compressor. It was blowing fuses, and,
what about the
nothing
coil?
would even come on.
What about the coil?
That's hearsay. That's all. That
No,
right there
I'm looking
is
at
not.
the pictures with the green bubbling.
That is not green
and I also
bubbling.
have the thing from the new AC company saying that the coil had leaks in it. I need your response.
That's oxidation. That's not a leak. You see that on coils all over town.
No, hold on. I need you to stop laughing. It's not funny.
I can't help it.
You can, and you better help it. Okay? No. I know what oxidation looks like. That's the bubbling with the liquid that they put so that you can see the bubbling.
The bottom line is I had no intention of abandoning this job and not getting to the point where he was happy because that's the way I do business.
Right, but they did have to call you out a lot in July. And
he did. But like I say...
I'm going to order you to return the $1,400. I'm going to order you to pay the court costs. And that is what I'm going to order you to do. And you two part ways, and good luck to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, that lady took my...
Well, the plaintiff is going to get money back. At least he's going to get the money for the compressor. You got to give the money $1,400 back. How do you feel about that?
Not happy. I would have made the job whole had I had the opportunity, but once you're physically attacked, what can you do?
All right. Well, sorry about that.
That's okay.
That's the way it goes. Thank you very much. Mr. Martin, did you, where are you going?
Oh,
you go here, talk to here.
I'm sorry.
Did you attack him?
No, come on.
Where'd that come from?
I have no idea. You know, again, sport is a sport. I did boxing a long time. I could take care of myself. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You take care of it like a gentleman here in the courtroom. That's where to get him.
All right. So you're going to get the money back for the. Is it working now? Your system working now?
Beautiful new system.
What'd you do? What, the whole new thing?
A whole new system. Everything's good. My wife is cooled down. She's happy.
Sure.
When the wife is happy, everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy,
Yeah,
right?
It's all good.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you very much.
All right.
Okay. Take care. Harvey?
You know, my advice is always use licensed contractors, especially for big jobs. And the reason is, number one, there's a standard they have to meet. Number two, there's an insurance bond that they have to file in case you have to go after them for money.